everyone, I'm Meredith Abbott, Culinary Director for Sur La Table, and welcome to On the Table. Today I am making light, airy, and intensely chocolatey dark chocolate souffles with vanilla bean crème anglaise. I'm going to get started by melting the semi-sweet chocolate that I chopped earlier over a double boiler, which is a saucepan with a couple inches of water in it that I'm going to heat. This melts your chocolate nice and gently and prevents it from burning. While that is melting, I'm going to finish buttering and sugaring my ramekins. So I have some room temperature, soft, unsalted butter and a pastry brush. Ramekins are great for these because it's kind of built-in portion control, also ensures even baking. For the first one, take granulated sugar, pour it into the bottom, like so, and then I tip it, and then as I roll it, I pour it into the next ramekin. So again, roll and tap to coat it completely, and using sugar for a souffle instead of flour gives a really nice kind of sweet crust, but also gives your souffle something to grab onto as it crawls up and grows up the side of your ramekin. So always use sugar in your souffles, in your sweet souffles. Okay, I'm gonna stir my chocolate. It is melting nicely. I'm gonna take it off the heat, and now I'm ready to move on to the next step. The first step to creating the souffle base is to beat the egg yolks. This is best done in a stand mixer. Adding my sugar. And of course, every time you add sugar, always add some salt. I'm going to start this on low, work my way up to about medium-high speed until the egg mixture is light and fluffy and holds what we call ribbons. So visually, my eggs have lightened in color and I can tell that they've increased in volume. So I'm going to check to see if they're holding those ribbons I was mentioning. So you lift up the mixture on the paddle and pour it back onto itself. And if it holds that ribbon for a little while before it melts back in, that's what a ribbon stage is. And that's where my egg yolk mixture is. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to add a few ingredients to my melted chocolate, which I have right here. I'm going to add some heavy cream and vanilla bean paste. I really like using vanilla bean paste for this particular recipe because the chocolate itself has so much flavor. The vanilla bean paste really holds up to it because it's so concentrated. But if you have extract, you can use extract. Stir this together. Nice, okay. Okay, so now I'm going to add this light and airy mix to this dense chocolate mix. So I'm going to add only a third of it into this because I want to lighten this first before I start to fold. Some people call this the sacrifice. So this is nice and light and airy. I'm just going to add about a third of it, just again, eyeball. And I'm not gonna really mix this hard. I'm also not going to be super delicate with my folds. I do wanna try to retain some of the light, airy quality of those yolks. Okay, now I'm going to add another third. But now I want to try to retain some more airiness. So I'm going to fold, which means I'm going to take my flexible silicone spatula, cut from midway through the chocolate mixture, lift up from underneath and kind of turn it up over onto itself. Flip my bowl around, cut down through the middle, lift up and turn it onto itself. This is how you gently fold two items together that are different textures or different viscosities. You want to retain that airiness while mixing the two together. Okay, so this is looking good. Now I'm going to switch to a fresh, clean bowl, and I'm going to whip my egg whites. All right, now we're to the step that gives the souffle its rise. I'm going to start whipping the whites. So, to a clean bowl, it does need to be clean and free of any moisture or fat, because that will inhibit the whites from rising. I'm gonna start this on low. I'm gonna increase the speed to medium, and then when my whites are to soft, shiny peaks, I'm going to start sprinkling in my sugar. Okay, these are nice and soft and shiny and frothy. I'm gonna slowly sprinkle in my sugar, giving it some time to incorporate. And now I'm going to beat this for about another minute until we have some soft, nice, voluminous peaks. Let's check these peaks, pull it out, and that's a little soft peak for you. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So just like before, I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna pull in my egg yolk chocolate mixture from earlier, and now I'm going to fold just like before, where I start with about 1/3 of my fluffy egg whites. Again, because these are lighter in texture than the mixture that they're going into. I'm gonna be very gentle with these. Fold these in to loosen up the chocolate. Once these are almost all the way folded in, you can add your next addition, like so. Okay. Remember to fold, come down the middle. It's almost like you're making J's. Come down the middle, scrape up from the bottom, and fold over itself. And go until you have only a few streaks remaining, and then add in your last addition. And same process. Fold until no streaks remain. Okay, this is looking good. And now it's time to fill the ramekins. I love a little ladle for this. And try not to get any souffle batter onto the rim of your ramekins. Try to keep those as clean as possible. And you're gonna fill them to that bottom lip, or as evenly as possible. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to put mine into the oven. Ooh, look at these, perfectly risen. Okay, now the trick to souffles, you wanna serve them almost immediately out of the oven, because they'll start to deflate like instantly. As you see, they're kind of starting to drop already. And serve with vanilla bean crème anglaise alongside. Crack open your souffle in the middle. Oh, so good. Let your guests pour a little bit of the crème anglaise inside. Take a bite and enjoy. Light, airy, chocolatey, so rich, so special. Enjoy.